We have a listener. Now, if I know anything about people like you, and trust me, I have a fairly good understanding, you do not know much about life among monsters and under gods. Never fear, dear listener, for I can be your guide through this tumultuous journey into our troublesome world. That is, if you're bold enough to accompany me. You see, if you truly want to know the fates of our beloved heroes, you must brave the murkiest of waters, the darkest of forests, and the sweetest of shops. Does that worry you? It probably should, but if you're still listening, welcome to Roanoke. They have not talked for the whole ride down, so I will. Roanoke Public Library has been a staple of the colony for centuries. It is built atop the grave of one of the founders' lesser follies, a mine shaft. The carriage our silent sleuths find themselves in is rickety, rusty beyond their knowing, and they can see each floor they pass through the bars. Much to their combined discomfort, it is incredibly slow.
Stop hitting yourself.
I felt a bug or something. I'm not sure.
We're underground. You didn't feel a bug.
Did you see the cobwebs we cut through earlier? I'm sure this place is teeming with arachnids bigger than you.
Arachnids got exterminated within colony borders when I was a kid. We're not going to see any, especially that big.
Still, something about this seems...
While I'm not sure what Edith was going to say would have been useful, we simply don't have time for that because we've finally reached the archives. The space is a nightmarish mashup, my specialty, of a warehouse and a maze. The ceilings are low, and filing cabinets rise like pillars for the length of the space. Adjacent doors and random piles of boxes and files add to the clutter. Edith and Bentley share a look.
I want the release to show this was your idea, Sprinkles.
Record. And yes, it was. So let's get looking.
What am I looking for?
Anything strange, unusual, and off the beaten book of what we already know.
That really narrows it down.
Edith smirked despite herself, and began picking her way through the archive. Archive in this case was a bit of a misnomer, as that seems to betray a hint of a theme, or the image of order. The archives underneath the Roanoke Public Library was neither of those things. It was a cluttered and unorganized smorgasbord of stuff. Some of it was neatly labeled, and while Edith continually had to brush dust off the drawers, she was able to discern which would not be helpful. But the farther down the interminable aisle she traveled, and the more boxes she nearly tripped over, the more hopeless she felt. You see, as Edith put it, anything strange, unusual, and off the beaten book of what we already know is generally a good place to start. But when you're far out of your depth and far from everything you've known, comfortable or not, it's hard to tell which is truly which.
Okay, think this through, Raleigh. Changing pictures, shifting rooms, disappearing people. What's going on here? On lycanthropy and lunar dysphoria. No. Spatial rendering and... no, definitely not. Gates, or pixies and necromancy for the future. Interesting, but nothing. The Roanoke Rambler, volume 73 to 94. Why not? No way. That's totally not true. What is wrong with this town? Well, that had to have hurt. No, definitely not. Third disappearance this summer. Okay, headline, give me the goods. The summer of fury continues with the disappearance of a third Roanoke citizen. Lillian Ableter, aged 9 and 10, was meeting her betrothed, Isaac Bartholomew III, on the outskirts of town to discuss their wedding. However, when Bartholomew arrived, he reports seeing his fiancée, yet after a few steps, she vanished. My beloved Lily, once before in the brilliant sun, the next a raging tempest, swallowed her whole, there and gone. Get out.
I don't like this story. And you must be so bored, audience, having to sit there and listen to others walking through the dusty and worthless past. Ugh.
Ah! Fool me once, I think I'm losing it. Fool me twice, I know I'm right. What are you? Ugh, I should keep moving. I'm at the end of the line. Whoa! Close call. Now what is this? The Diary of Thirza Cunningham. Well, a peek couldn't hurt. Today I returned to the spot. The woods whistled around me, a fierce wind blowing in. The fog has been thick around the colony, and I fear I will never find what I'm looking for. The woods are in constant shift, and my heart in a million pieces. We are all lost amongst these shades and monsters. If only we could see enough to distinguish the pair. Damn, Thirza. But wait a minute.
Hey, Edith! I think I found something.
Miracles upon miracles. Be there in a minute! Bentley? What is it?
Ah, finally. I thought you'd gotten lost.
You wish. Now what are you hollering about? I was on to something, but I couldn't concentrate over you.
Are you surprised?
No, but I was enjoying the quiet.
Fine. It's just over here. Whatever you think, I am not too dumb to move it.
I'll believe it when I see it.
There is a rule that people generally acknowledge when in situations such as this. Splitting up is a poor idea. And as Bentley disappeared behind the maze of cabinets, and as Edith swatted another, even more insistent, bug away, she realizes the error of her ways.
Hey, who are you? Hey!
Bentley? Bentley? Bentley?
Alone again, Edith. She looks around again.
No. No!
She bounces on the balls of her feet, glancing all around her. The panic is evident on her face, the way she clenches her fists. Edith is quite literally in a corner, and there's nowhere for Bentley to have gone, and especially nowhere for anything else to hide. A table full of tagged and preserved artifacts are all that's there.
Okay, Raleigh, let's think this through. Bentley was here. Something took him.
She stands still, watching, waiting. One could almost imagine that nothing was wrong, that she was merely taking in the room. But Edith couldn't quite swing a calm demeanor. And then, from the corner of her eye, movement. Edith keeps still, part strategy, part shock. Because it's not any monster or ilk that she managed to fearfully conjure in the dim archive. It's as if the shadow peels itself off the wall and stumbles forward. Oh, scratch that. That's exactly what happened. Ah! Edith snaps out of it just in time. She dives forward. She scrambles under the table, watching with wide eyes as the shadow passes right back into the opposite wall. Instead of settling into stillness, it roils, a clawing tide of darkness, a roaring flame and a fire she cannot comprehend putting out. She pulls herself up, the table between her and the shadow on the wall.
Think, Edith. What are we... Oh, shit!
Another shadow pulls away from the wall behind her.
New plan!
She sprints without a second thought around the table and out of the room as the shadows lunge for her. The archive has grown colder, and as Edith runs, the room grows dim. Arms reach out from the walls, from corners, grabbing for Edith, our girl in over her head. She knows she cannot run forever. She makes for the elevator. Only the shadows are deepest there. She also cannot leave Bentley.
A light!
Edith appears to have found the most highly functioning light bulb down here. She makes a break for it, landing in its slight orange circle of light. The tide of shadows grind to a halt, a mass of misshapen limbs.
Is this actually working?
One crawls forward, a shape made entirely of arms, it seems, and it reaches for Edith, only to burn away. A temporary solution, but as Edith turns and looks around her, she knows. She's trapped. Edith looks around again, twisting the strap of her bag, calculating. The spotlight's on her and her alone. Darkness is all around her, buried deep in secrets and in the company of monsters. Edith is searching for a solution. And then, she gives up. Folding her legs beneath her, she sits on the dusty stone floor. Edith is stubborn by nature. She prides herself on that. Edith Raleigh is an indomitable girl, always trying to unspool mysteries around her and fighting against a big, mean, loud world that too often makes little sense. But Edith Raleigh is also just a girl, and there's only so much she can stand.
No, okay, this is just so uncalled for. You don't get to just decide what's going to happen to me. There is so much going on here. Why is this town like this? Shadows upon shadows. This isn't something you do on your own. This is years, centuries of something broken that no one fixed. Why is everything so hard? If I'm always alone, does this mean I can disappear too? Oh, look! Another mystery. Here to kill me too? You can't steal my part... Bentley, someone already did that. Wait, you're...
She holds onto her finger, and the bug lands on it. A second settles next to it.
I'm so stupid. You're not bugs at all. Cave sprites, of course. Dark spaces, crevices to hide, the quiet. You live here. But these shadows...
More sprites have flocked to Edith. Even in the haze of the light, she can see the glow coming off of them. Their small bodies are made of light, and they're hot like embers. Edith smiles, something cracking inside of her, a plan forming in her brain, and it feels so good to remember that she was not alone in this dark hour. Which is good, because she's about to have a major problem.
Do you know a way you can get Bentley back? Good. Now let's shed some light on the situation, shall we?
The lights go out. Edith Raleigh, for all her flaws and secrets and insecurities, is a sight to behold as she marches forward, the swarm of sprites shooting through the shadows. The shadows are pulled to pieces, and in their tearing fabric, a shape begins to materialize.
Yes, that's it! Keep going!
She rushes forward, grabbing the vague outline of Bentley and yanking. The shadows reach for her, but they pass over her, for now she is more powerful, and the darkness cannot touch her.
What the hell is happening? Edith?
Just go with it.
The shadows wail, receding. Edith and Bentley remain close, watching the flurry of sprites buzzing and shooting through the cabinets. The light returns, and the last few shadows slink back into the walls. All is still, and the dastardly duo wait, expecting more. After an agonizing few moments, Edith lets out a breath. Then she realizes how close she and Bentley are, and she clambers to her feet.
Well, let's never do that again.
She holds out her hand.
Edith, I think we're in agreement on that one.
He takes it. He leads her back through the archives. They find themselves back at the room where it all began. This may come as a shocker, but neither are excited to go back inside.
Oh, whatever. It's just a stupid room. Come on, Sprinkles.
He heads back inside, Edith following. He marches up to the table and he straightens out an ancient, crinkled map. Swirling penmanship marks the colony where it all began. Roanoke, 1587.
I know, it's a map from like a bajillion years ago, but Roanoke is not exactly good at change. You can see it. All the roads are the same, at least the oldest ones. Some of them are new, but those are all on the East End extension. All of these, it's a mirror to now.
He unfolds a recent map next to the old one.
And I looked at this for a while, because reading takes me a bit and this was so boring, but patterns I can do. So I went through and I know all of these places. All of these buildings make sense, but you want to know what doesn't? This.
Oh,
Oh dear.
that's the Croat house.
But not on here, it's not. It's the old road out of town. The one they closed it after things got bad. That house has been there for as long as I can remember, but I've never known anyone who's lived there.
This place where he points to on the map is an illustration of a great tree, branches wrapping nearly around the entire town border. Close, but not quite part of the forest. It has burst of flame, lightning crashing down upon it.
There's something weird about that house. I keep winding up there.
You've gone in there?
No, not really, but I have the feeling that might be our next move.
If it means getting the hell out of here, then we should have done that hours ago.
Edith casts an eye over the map again, looking over this town. But she is too drained to think about this anymore. More than that, she wants to feel the sun on her skin, or even the rain and breeze, anything other than that tearing darkness. She's not showing it, but she's glad Bentley is here, and she would rather not lose him again today, however that idea came to be.
Yeah, let's go.
They hustled out of the archives. Edith dropped the keys on the librarian's desk without a word, but she can't miss the quick smile they give them both. By now, the sky is growing dark, not with storm, but twilight. It seems the rain has finally stopped, the sky clearing in time for a wash of brilliant orange and purple. The sunset is reflected in puddles on the streets, the world washed anew, as Edith and Bentley walk side by side in silence. Logically, they know they have a lot to discuss, or at least have a lot to be at each other's throats for. Yet, neither of them can bring themselves to break the silence. That is, until they get to the fork in the road where they must part ways. As warm night falls around them, and neither will admit it, they cannot bear the idea of being alone in the dark again.
Hey, Bentley. What was it like?
Huh?
Or, where did you go when you know?
Oh, right. It was dark.
I never would have guessed.
But it wasn't dark like someone had turned off the lights. It was as if no light had ever existed there ever. I felt like I could still see everything, just there wasn't anything to see. I could have sworn I heard almost like someone was...
What?
Nah, it was nothing. It didn't really feel like anything.
That sounds awful.
It was. Thanks for saving me.
Hardly. I gave up. I didn't want to, but it got to be too much.
Well, hey, don't go exploring the, what do you call it again?
The Croat house.
Yeah, that. Don't go exploring without me.
Oh. All right.
I need a scapegoat if we get arrested.
Good night, Bentley.
The two kids part ways, Bentley trying for his usual swagger but not quite getting it. Edith takes a deep breath, head swimming. The world is strange and harsh, but what's stuck on her mind right now is that she's glad she's not in it alone. Such silly, silly thoughts for a darkening situation. But in the dark, who will even know it? All I know is this little summer escapade is about to get a bit more complicated. I think it's time we kick things up a notch. But that's for another day. Oh, better and brighter things are to come, and it will be a riot. Just you wait.